Man, this episode was wow. This episode was a lot. A lot happened, and yeah, let's get into it. What's up, guys? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again, and today we're here for Kamen Gotchard episode 17, and in this episode we get a big betrayal, we get some lore dumps, we get some foreshadowing. Like the show has really this episode, it really took a turn. This episode was serious, I guess a good 85% of the time. Like there was no really jokey joke things going on. If it was a jokey joke type things, it was quickly just bam, just out of here. We also get introduced to a new type of amalgam that really doesn't need humans to be able to use it. We got a new user of Kamen Rider Dread, and we got some foreshadowing into Spanner becoming his rider form. But yeah, so this episode basically starts off with Master Gion and the Abyssal Sisters formulating some new plans or whatever. He pulls out this voodoo looking doll thing from a dark portal, like it was evil. He opened this portal and all you heard was just screams, and he reached in there and pulled out this little voodoo doll. He pulls out this doll and he puts it inside of this chemical liquid, and when he pulls out the chemical liquid, they end up giving him a Kimi that they had gotten before, basically a Kimi that they had gotten before, and it's like a moon looking Kimi, because the amalgam guy was kind of like a moon looking thing, and this guy was very, very sentient. He had personality, he could speak properly and everything. So I guess the voodoo doll that he used to be a human or something like that Gion probably was experimented on. But we did see that the little Abyssal sister said that this experimental doll thing, apparently she considered it they considered they're our older brothers, but they're pure evil, which is why they are contained the way they are. So since they are contained that way, they ended up he ended up creating this new amalgam, and he sends this amalgam off just to go cause chaos. So we see that Ichinose is off doing errands for his mom, and he hears some people being attacked, and he sees this amalgam, and he goes to fight this amalgam. But we also see that Minato was going back to the academy, and Master Gion is there with him, and he knows Minato by name. Apparently he kind of alludes to Minato used to be a different person, and he kind of had a different name and stuff like that. So it's I don't know who Gion is going to be to Minato, but yeah, it's gonna get there. So we also get some scenes with Spanner. He's back at Kyoto, his master / adopted mother. She is basically talking about him, how she's been tired from working on the driver and things like that, and she explains that what her plan actually was when she sends him off to keep an eye on Kudo, and also try and find her dad Fuga, because they know Fuga, they do know that Fuga is still alive, and she wants Spanner to keep an eye on her, because eventually Fugo is going to reach out to Rin in some form, reach out to Kudo in some form or fashion. And he also talks about how we also get a little inkling of backstory on Spanner, how they talked about how Kyoto basically saved his life 10 years ago, and she has this really big scar on her right arm, and he wants to repay a debt to her. So she sends him off to go help out, to go basically do what she wants him to do. And we get to Ichinose is fighting this this amalgam, and he's getting his butt kicked by this amalgam, and he's still in his base form. We see that the amalgam ends up capturing the 4 like worker dudes, and like he has an ability where he can go underground, and he can go underground. He like phases. He doesn't like dig underground, he like phases underground, and he ends up capturing these 4 worker guys. And then Ichinose is about to get beaten by this amalgam, and then that's when Orange Gotchard, or Daybreak, appears up there. He is up saving Ichinose, and that's when the amalgam decides that I have to leave, I have to rest, because I guess this amalgam has to he can only fight for a certain amount of time, and then he has to sleep for a while. So Ichinose talks to Daybreak, and he asks Daybreak like, who are you? Like, he asked him, who are you? How do you know all this stuff? Like, what's going on? Who's Gion? Like, Daybreak knows who Gion is, and he tells Ichinose that sometime in the future, he said sometime in the future, you are going to end up in a very bad situation where you're going to lose the faith of someone that you trust. And Ichinose says like, what does that even mean? And since he tells him that if you want to change the future, you're gonna have to change yourself, because you cannot defeat that amalgam as you are right now. You cannot defeat that amalgam. Like, even with his upgraded forms and things like that, he cannot defeat that amalgam. And he tells him like, I can't tell you who I am, but you're gonna have to you're basically just gonna have to trust me. And he leaves on his own version of Gold Dash. Like, even Ichinose asks him like, how do you have Gold Dash? Like, I captured Gold Dash. Like, how do you also have Gold Dash? So we get to the part where we see the rest of the crew, like, they're looking for they're basically looking for Akemi. Like, I guess they're basically looking for the amalgam, but they haven't seen the amalgam, but they're looking for Akemi. And they said the Akemi hides in shadowy areas, so they're all looking like down inside of shadowy areas to find it. And when we see that Kudo ends up using the chili pepper Akemi to shoot like spices into the ground, and then that's when the amalgam shoots up out of the ground, and he basically starts attacking them. But there's a particular line that Kudo uses, and a particular line that Minato uses later on. But the line that Kudo uses is, she says that I can't use alchemy right now, so I guess I'll just use this Kimi. I'll just use the chili pepper looking Kimi. And it made me think, like, that whole thing when they met Geats, the whole Geats thing, when they end up meeting Geats and everybody else, like, that really is, like, I mean, we know that movies and special stuff are canon. So we saw all the other 10 Kimmys in that special. I didn't watch that special, so I was a little bit confused, which I might have to go watch that for context to see what's going on. I mean, I feel like I feel kind of bad by myself that I had not watched that, but I probably need to watch that to get more context of what's going on, because there are like pivotal stuff in this episode that reference that crossover, showing how like that crossover really is canon. So Kudo can't use alchemy for some reason. I don't know yet. I just have to, you guys let me know down in the comment section, or I'm just gonna watch the special myself, and then I'll have better context of what exactly was happening. But so yeah, the amalgam is there. Amalgam, he pops out of the ground, he gets ready to attack everyone, and that's when Ichinose comes in to fight him again. He transforms, but he goes straight into his UFO X form and starts fighting the amalgam, and he ends up using UFO X's powers and uses gravity powers to pull the 4 workers out of the ground. They save those guys, and he starts fighting. He's still fighting it, and then that's when he ends up getting ready to be attacked, and that's when Daybreak comes in to help him fight him, and help him fight him and stuff like that. And then that's when Ichinose transforms into the Rex X form and ends up destroying the amalgam. He ends up destroying the amalgam, but that's when the amalgam still, it gets back up, it regenerates. We see like all that's left is like its like lower half, and then like its upper half grows back, which was really creepy looking. But yeah, it ends up talking more, he ends up talking more smack to Ichinose, and it ends up leaving. And then that's when Ichinose is like, yeah, like, and that's when Daybreak is like, yeah, that's why I told you, like, you can't defeat that amalgam as you are now, like you're gonna have to, you know, change or whatever. So back then we see that Spanner is going to meet up with everybody, but he ends up being intercepted by Minato, and he ends up talking to Minato. And then that's when everybody meets up with Spanner, and they see that Spanner is fighting Minato. They hear him shooting at Minato, and turns out Minato is fighting Spanner, and he tells everybody like, hey, he tells all of them like, hey, because of all that what happened in that special that he was talking about, because of everything that happened in that special, it has come to the point where we're gonna have to take everybody's ring. He's like, give me all your rings, give me all your kimmies that you acquired, and then we're going to erase your memory. We're gonna expel y'all and erase your memories. And they're all like, why? It's because like you all lack like skill and stuff like that. Like, what? Kudo's like, we're just students. Like, we didn't expect. We're not super trained. We didn't expect to be fighting and doing all these things. We were just supposed to be learning about alchemy and capturing kimmies. And they're like, yeah. And then stuff happened. But Minato basically tells them to give them all their stuff. They're going to expel them, and they have found new people, more experienced people to capture kimmies now. And it's the 3 Abyssal Sisters. Yeah, it got weird. Like, it got really weird. Like, it's the 3 Abyssal Sisters, and they're dressed up in the academy uniforms. And after they expel all the students and erase their memories, they're going to close the academy, and then, you know, do everything in secret, like, you know, underground type secret stuff. And yeah, and Kudo's like, and then, you know, Ichinose is like, why? He's freaking having an existential like crisis, as he always does, and he starts to realize that this is what Daybreak was talking about. He said you'll end up in a really bad situation where you'll lose faith in someone you trust, and turns out it's Minato. So after you know, Spanner gets his butt kicked by Minato, he tries to take he ends up transforming into Dread. He ends up beating the crap out of Spanner. He turns into Dread. Now Minato is officially the new Kamen Rider Dread, and he ends up taking all of Spanner's cards. When he takes all of Spanner's cards, that's when he gets ready to attack all of them and take their cards back. But we see that Sabimaru came in clutch. He ends up giving Spanner a card for them to teleport away, and Spanner teleports everybody away, and yeah, they all get away, and episode ends right there. But man, another episode with it's been a while, but another episode where the bad guys win, and it's messed up. I don't necessarily think Minato is like under any kind of control. I think he's being blackmailed or something like that. Like, I don't think he's like being outright controlled. I think he has like his own motive that he got going on, because with the whole like expelling everybody, with whole erasing everybody's memories, expelling them and stuff like that, I do feel like that was his way of trying to keep them safe and not have to like kill them. You know, like, that's how I feel like that was his way of like doing that. And I don't think our boy is completely like, you know, being controlled. Like, his eyes didn't glow any different color or anything like that. Like, he didn't show sign. I just feel like he's being blackmailed or something like that. And Gion was watching all this. He's in the academy, like, watching all this. So Gion obviously has to be probably like an alchemist that became this. Like, I feel like he when he was in the classroom, like, he talked about how, you know, this place hasn't changed, you know, it's still like brimming with like youth and stuff like that, like, it's nostalgic. And so like it proves that Gion definitely has to be like definitely has to have history and a past with the academy. He has to definitely be like somebody that used to be a good guy, probably went down that path of evil. But yeah, it tripped me out seeing the Abyssal Sisters in the academy uniforms. Like it didn't fit none of them at all. I mean, maybe the little sister, like the older but little sister, it fit her very well. She looked cute in it. But other than that, like I feel like maybe it should have made them red or something like that. Cause like, you know, Sabimaru and Renge, their things are red. Like you could have put them in the red ones. I'm nitpicking, but it was dope. This episode was fire. This episode was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed this episode. It's just a lot going on. And if you see Daybreak, you're looking over the city. I still feel like Daybreak is either a future Ichinose or Ichinose's son, because he even knew Gion. He knew Gion, and he knew what type of amalgam that Gion made. Like he had, like, this guy, he knew that Minato was going to do this. So obviously Daybreak has to be a future Ichinose or Ichinose's son. I don't know. I'm more towards him being a future Ichinose, but yeah, that's it, man. I don't know. You guys, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode, and but this huge plot twist. When is your boy gonna get his freaking driver, Kugare? When is he gonna get his freaking driver so he can do some real damage? Because Valivard looks cool, but it ain't doing his job, man. And the freaking Ichinose is gonna get a big upgrade in the next episode too. It looks freaking cool. He got big boosters on his back. But other than that, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As remember, as I always say, stay henshin'.